Why do you have to know? You should tell me about. Was not a nice chocolate bar. Greetings everybody, my name is Grumpy Hawk and I'm here to just kind of do a little vlog about The Force Awakens because, as you probably actually don't know, I am a mega Star Wars nerd. I have been since I was about 5 years old, and so naturally I'm going to talk about The Force Awakens. And as you've seen at the very beginning of this video, this is not spoiler free. I was going to do a spoiler free one and then I was going to do a non-spoiler free one, but I just thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm assuming most people who want to see the film and want to see reviews on it have seen it by this point. But if you haven't, sorry, but you know what, I give you warnings, so no hate comments about spoilers. So this is really going to be just super quick because I haven't really planned this out. I want to start off by saying that I thought it was a really brilliant film. Just mind fart right there, mind fart. Yeah, so I've heard a lot of people say that actually The Force Awakens was just as good as the originals, and I would pretty much agree with that. I still prefer Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back, but I thought Force Awakens was absolutely brilliant. I even heard a lot of people say that it was their new favourite, and I think if you can, after the disaster of the prequels, so many people were terrified that this new film was just going to be like that, but it wasn't. It was so much like, it was basically the original trilogy, but with more advanced graphics, and, you know, I loved it. I was hooked to this screen the entire time. The storyline was great, and the number of references they had in there. They had things like Han Solo talking about a trash compactor, which is obviously a reference to Episode 4. They had Luke Skywalker's lightsaber in the snow, and it was just kind of wriggling, which is a reference to Empire Strikes Back. And it was really nice that they are catering to both the audience of long-time fans or fans of the originals, and then just new Star Wars fans. The amount of people I know that watched the previous 6 films just so they could understand The Force Awakens was amazing, and I really liked that. It was great that it was just bringing so many people together into this community, and we've grown so much because of this film, and it was a good film. We didn't have Jar Jar Binks, we didn't have a 7-year-old blonde dickhead accidentally blowing up things and just going oops at the end of it. And yes, I am referencing Phantom Menace. I did not like that film. It's weird. I like the prequels, but I don't like them. It's like they are nowhere near as good as the originals, which are the best. But if I'm going to have a Star Wars marathon, I will do it properly, and I will watch the prequels to go with it. I'm that much of a dedicated fan. And obviously, there were just so many twists and turns, because I only saw it on yesterday, Tuesday, depending on when I upload this. I saw it on Tuesday, and I managed to avoid spoilers all the way up to then, and so many bits were shocking me. And obviously I think the biggest shocker was the fact that Han Solo was killed by Kylo Ren, his own son, which was just wow. And I'm not gonna lie, from that point on I cried, because Harrison Ford has been my hero since forever, and Han Solo has been my favourite character out of any character ever in the world, and I just kind of watched him get slaughtered. So I cried for a good hour. I cried for the rest of the film. I cried in the car home, cried when I got home. Still really heartbroken about it. But you know what? If a film makes you cry or entices your emotions, then it's done its job. And I kind of had an inkling it was going to happen, just because I knew that Harrison Ford had wanted Han Solo to die since Episode 6 in 1983, and if you think he's coming back now, he's probably going to want to kill him off. And although it devastated me, I thought the concept of this new villain, like murdering his father, did work quite well. I wasn't overly keen on Kylo Ren, like, as a villain, in the sense that he seemed a bit weak, but then I liked that at the same time, because when we got into the original trilogy, it was Darth Vader was just this stone cold bastard. I love him, by the way. Stone cold bastard, and was just evil, evil, evil until we get to episode 6. And then this is totally different because we're kind of seeing Anakin Skywalker turn into Darth Vader in the sense that he's still quite weak when he's doing it. And so it's just going to be really interesting to see any more information on Kylo Ren and why he was so obsessive with Darth Vader. I want to know how he got Darth Vader's skull, though. I had to go and dig it up on Endor. Although they didn't bury Darth Vader, they burnt him, which was lovely. He already got burnt once, burn him again. Why not? And of course, I thought the acting was brilliant. I didn't look up any of the actors' names. I only know the actors of the original cast. But I thought Rey's acting was a bit... I don't know. I liked her because she was a really strong-willed, strong female character that knew her stuff. She was kind of a bit like Leia in the fact that, you don't fuck around with her. So I liked the strong female character, but I just thought the acting at times, the attitude of it was a bit obvious, but it didn't make me hate her. I thought Finn was good. It was really nice to see a human element to the stormtroopers, and it was nice that they didn't just use a clone army. They actually showed a kind of dystopian way of raising an army from birth, and I liked that there was still a really, really human element to it. And I've spoken about Kylo Ren, who I want to add sounds like Michael Gambon as well, Dumbledore. That's who Kylo Ren sounds like. Go rewatch it, listen to it, sounds like Dumbledore. And the kind of cliffhanger at the end with, Luke just not being there, and you want to know, so obviously Luke felt responsible for the betrayal of one of the Jedi students, which I think that was pretty much confirmed it was Kylo Ren. Or Ben. It really confused me because the novels, if you've read any of the Star Wars novels, they're not canon anymore because of that film, and in the novels, Han and Leia had twins, Jason and Jaina. Jason turned to the dark side, and then they had another child called, I think it was Anakin. I didn't look it up. And so this whole time, they were talking about Kylo Ren. I was like, oh, that's Jason. Wait, no, it's not. And that really confused me. So if you've read the novels, try and break away from that because that's no longer canon. That was a shock to the system. And at least Han Solo didn't fucking die in the novels. Oh, that was like watching I cried more at that than I did at the last funeral I went to. That's probably quite a bad thing to say, but it's true. I'm looking at the time now. I've only been here for just under 8 minutes, and I really, really stuck with things to say. It was so good, guys, and I really, really can't think of what else to say. I think probably one of the hardest parts about The Force Awakens, I was actually discussing this with my dad as he drove me home, because I went with my dad because he's the one who got me into Star Wars at the young age. And the hardest part of it was adapting to a new set of characters, because obviously, a huge fan of the originals, Han Solo / Harrison Ford fangirl, was so happy to see Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Anthony Daniels, and eventually Mark Hamill in the cast. And I know obviously you had Peter Mayhew and Warwick Davis in there as well. I was really happy to see all those guys. It was just quite hard to adapt to Rey and Finn and just like a new set of characters. I liked the freshness. I liked that we were introduced to new planets, new creatures, and just the new characters was great. It's just going to be hard to adapt, but I'm hoping that the future films is going to really, really sort of flesh them out a bit more and show us a lot more of what The Force Awakens didn't. And of course, we know that Rey is going to have a huge storyline to her because, she's Force sensitive. She managed to use a Jedi mind trick to get out of the restraints and managed to use the Force to get Luke's lightsaber. So it was really going to be interesting what happens with her. I'd like to hear a bit more about Finn as well, because what we basically know is he was raised as a stormtrooper, didn't like being a stormtrooper, and escaped and joined the Resistance. I'd like to maybe see a bit more about him And this is a slight, like a teeny tiny spoiler for the next film they do. So if you don't want to hear anything about that, just stop. But I read an article that every single cast member would be returning for the next film, for episode 8, which does include Harrison Ford as Han Solo. Now, I don't think they're going to be bringing him back to life, because I think once you get stabbed with a lightsaber and then fall from a really great height, I don't think you're going to be alive and breathing anytime soon. So I think there's going to be flashbacks, which I'm really looking forward to, because Han and Leia are, like, they're my favourite couple. I love them to bits, which is another reason why it was so devastating. Like, when they all came back and they were all just like fussing over Finn, and you just see Leia stood there just looking sad, and she hugs Rey, and oh my god. I'm gonna start crying again. Right, so I would really like to see some flashbacks, because I want to see Han and Leia at the time when their son started to kind of turn to the dark side a bit. And I know it's going to be sad, but I'm really interested to see how that plays out, because that was also a theme that was in the novels. Their son Jason turned evil, and I'm pretty sure their son Anakin then killed him, not them, killed Jason. So I would really like to see that, and I'm hoping there's going to be more flashbacks for Finn as well. And right now, that's all I've got to say. If I do think of anything else, I might add it in another vlog, but hey, like I said, this is why I should really plan out my videos, because I don't, and then it really, really sucks. So if you have any thoughts on The Force Awakens, please leave them down below. If there's anything else you want me to cover my opinions on, might even do some popular theories at some point. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the film if you've seen it, and may the Force be with you.